Well, it's Sunday, and that means it's time for me to look in the mirror and really figure out how I'm doing on my goals. I do this for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I have a long sales career. We were always goal driven, always had that threat of not performing and getting fired, right? Just kind of live with that daily grind of trying to get to some artificial number. That always led me to believe to break that down into the disparate parts that make up a pipeline, and what allowed me to create and manage teams to consistently overachieve and sometimes really, really overachieve. So what you've seen on this channel is last year, or actually 2019, I reported to you monthly. And what I did starting December 1st of 2019, I said, that's not working. That's not frequent enough. I need to step up my game because I wasn't happy with what was going on in my business, in my life. So now I report to you weekly, and this is now week 4. I saw no reason to wait for January 1st. It's some artificial date. December 1st happened to fall on a Sunday, and we just went after it together. So let me share with you what's going on with week 4 numbers. So here's the spreadsheet. We will just go through this instead of doing any kind of presentation. I do break up my goals into different parts. First off is health. And as you can see, we now have 4 weeks of data to see how I'm doing. First and foremost, the workouts are being consistent. This week was a 5. That's kind of my minimum goal. I was sick one day this week, kind of just curled up in bed. And then Christmas, I took off as well. So, that was good. I did start doing intermittent fasting. I did take, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I think I did take one day off for the first time. So this is 27 out of 28 days. I took Christmas off. Again, this is not, I don't want this to become something that impacts my life or my family. And Christmas is just the day to go nuts. So I did. I was a little nervous, given that I worked out one less day this week. I was sick. I was, I had a good time on Christmas, so I was a little nervous about the weight, but weighed myself this morning and bang on the same number from last week, which frankly I consider a win. So we will get after it this week, up the cardio and see what happens. So health is doing pretty good. Lost 6 pounds in 4 weeks, intermittent fasting. Also not on this list is I did switch to vegetarian. I think it was middle of week 1, and did that for the first 3 weeks. And then Christmas Eve and Christmas, I let that go. We had family over, and I ate what I ate. So that's that. It's actually been pretty good for me, but I didn't do it on Christmas Eve or Christmas. Next up was kind of social media impact, right? This YouTube channel is important. It gets daily content from me, daily financial news, and then something usually on real estate. So you can usually look for at least 2 videos a day. We hit our goal for the first time since tracking, right? We have a goal of 4,000 YouTube views. We hit it this week. We got 4,363. So thank you all very, very much. That boils down to right around 600 views a day, which is pretty cool. We will see if we can't continue that going forward. Podcasts went down. I am not sure why. It went down considerably, only 2,119. That is probably some of that to do with people taking time off. I believe a lot of the podcast listens are in the cars or on the job site, and maybe some job sites weren't there. So we will see. Next up is YouTube subscribers. We again had our first week of exceeding the number, and boy, did we blow it out. So thank you all very much. If you watch this channel, frankly, still watching this video at this point, and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It would be awesome. What I learned is I need to be interviewed on other people's YouTube channels. So if you run a YouTube channel, you know someone that runs a YouTube channel, you watch other folks, do me a favor, leave comments in their videos saying, hey, you should interview Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time. So again, if you watch Graham Stephan or you watch Meet Kevin, leave a comment on one of their videos suggesting that they interview Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time. That would be pretty awesome. This is where my increase in subscribers seems to explode, is when an interview of mine appears on another channel. So help me out one more time. If you watch somebody else in real estate, do me a favor and leave a comment on one of their videos asking them or suggesting that they might want to interview Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time. Instagram subscribers, again, we had a good week. We hit our number. I think that's 56, or no, 54, 56. I don't know, whatever. It went up, yeah, 56. It went up 56 subscribers on a goal of 50. I think this just happens to do with talking about it more. I, historically speaking, not talked about my Instagram page a lot. We do create daily content there. If you haven't gone there, check it out. It's, again, One Rental at a Time. It's a pretty exciting page. It's growing, a lot of fun. Then next up is my business, right? What am I doing? So I have a goal to write 5 offers in the multiple listing. Only got 2 out. I've missed this goal 3 weeks in a row. Some of that has to do with the holiday season. Some of that happens to be with, I just don't see the deals in the MLS. I think the market is getting hot again for the properties that I look at. I think, frankly, I'm inviting competition to Fresno, which is totally okay. I believe in the abundance mentality, so that's totally okay. But yeah, I'm falling behind on this one and need to figure something out. No deals closed in the MLS. We just have 1 so far this 13-week period, but that's okay. No deals from Stratton yet. He took off, went home to Utah with his family, which is totally cool. We have some big plans in January, so we will see what happens there. No deals reviewed this week. I'm sure he did some business, but I didn't see any. No deals from Adam, my second partner, this week. But I did look at one deal. We talked about a deal. It's actually one that we paid a probate attorney to help with. Looks like it came through, and we may be locking that up next week, but we shall see. As for marketing, we did send out some mailers. I actually got one, which was funny, I thought. I'm like, guys, scrub your list. I don't want to pay 70 cents to mail me something. Come on. So that was interesting. But we are doing something. I have talked to that sub-2 partner. We're going to do something hopefully in January. There is talk of another partner coming on board, looking at something called code enforcement, which I am super excited about. We will see where that goes. The other thing I want to mention here is I actually created a website called The Hub Fresno. If you haven't checked it out yet, go to thehubfresno.com. It's something that I created and will be adding to going forward. I am looking for other partners. If you are interested in doing some work in Fresno and you need somebody who can close and help, either pay referral fees or maybe even JV if the deal's good enough, reach out and let me know. I do believe this is all about cash flow. I did talk about units last year, which I again is one of those vanity metrics that I think is getting talked about too often. So I do have a goal to increase cash flow 1250 for the quarter, right? This 13-week quarter. And for the first time, we increased it this week. Again, I am lucky to be in a situation that I could pay off debt, buy new units, or increase rent in our portfolio. So this 600 actually came from paying off a second on one of my properties. So we paid off some debt. So that was a big step towards that goal. That final flip did sell this week. So we finished up 2019. If you haven't seen it, I did put out a video that gives you a feel for all the things we did in 2019, both flips, both buy and hold, and what we did with a couple apartment buildings. Check that out. We didn't buy any flips this week. We probably will buy one next week, at least as I look at the calendar, but we shall see. I'm very happy to say that I love this next one. I haven't spent anything on wants. This is something I still think about now when I'm out shopping with Olivia, or out walking, I should say. I look at something and say, hey, do I want to tell my audience that I just bought a $50 workout sweater or sweatpants or whatever? And so far the answer has been 0. So again, I am very proud of that. Unique events. I am very clear that I want to focus on being happy and making memories. So this yesterday, actually, we just went and saw Ali Wong. If you haven't seen her, she's really funny. She does have a couple of Netflix specials. If you have Netflix, Baby Cobra is the one name that I remember. But be aware, she does swear a lot. So if that's not your thing, don't watch it. But if you just want to laugh and you're okay being uncomfortable a little bit, she is pretty funny. It's actually the third time we've seen her. We actually saw her once before she blew up, right in this little dingy club in San Francisco, probably 5 or 6 years ago, and then a couple of times since. So another good time. It was fun. Man, it was a late night because it was the adult show, and it was funny. And again, we sat front row center, so we got to see her. I was pretty shocked at how short she was. I guess you don't get that perspective on Netflix, but she was pretty funny. Then last up, the one rental at a time umbrella. What we're trying to do to help people. It was a good week all the way around. Again, another week of creating 2 hours of content. We actually sold 61 books in a week. It has been a while since we've done that. We did that the first couple of months out. So I want to thank everyone for doing that, for recommending the book. I'm floored by it. It seems to be picking up steam again, which is pretty cool. And again, it's our story, and we wrote it to be a compliment to Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's meant to give busy professionals understanding of what's possible, the ups and downs, because again, we invested pre-crash, post-crash, and it's our story. It's by no means it'll never be called the best written book. That's not my thing, but it is our story, and I stand by it. It was a labor of love to write that, so it was pretty cool. As for courses, it's been a decent week. 5 people signed up for the free course. Again, you can find it at onerentalatatime.com. There's also a link in the description below. We actually sold 3 paid courses as well. Again, these are things I don't talk about a lot. It is something I truly believe helps build confidence. It can help you do the work. If you want to make 2020 better, the paid course is, I think, the best value out there. It's less than $200. Don't believe me. I've been lucky enough to have 3 students interviewed. Some of them were already doing deals and moved forward. Others were just trying to get started and build confidence. So, look at the course, look at the outline, listen to the interviews. If you're unsure, don't buy the course, right? I don't need the money, don't want the money. But if you really want to get in and make the next decade interesting, you want to do the work, build confidence, feel good about it, learn your market, as I talk about, it's the best value out there. It's hands down, especially if you want to be a buy and hold investor. If you're looking to wholesale or flip, don't buy it. It's not for you. But if you want to get to 4 rental properties and make good investments, I think it's a pretty good deal. So take a look. And then finally, a donation. We did already give $1,000 out in goodies to a emergency shelter last week, which we felt awesome about. It's very likely we do another donation this coming week to kind of wrap up the year, but we shall see. So that's my week. Again, I do this every Sunday. I look forward to it, frankly. I like sharing with you. I like holding myself accountable. I like the interaction we get when people comment. But do me a favor. If you like this, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ask others to join, really make this a community. This is, again, buy and hold, right? Being a landlord, not necessarily where you live, because I invest 2.5 hours away. I say it all the time, right? Financial freedom is hard, but a better financial future is easy. So let's do it together. All right, everybody, take care. I'm off to the gym.